Good afternoon. My name is Ruth. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Today I'm going to give you a bunch of clips of me answering some questions that I've gotten a lot from family and friends and people on YouTube. These are all things dealing with mulch and whether or not to use leaf mold or to use wood mulch and what exactly they do for your garden and things like that. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and then tell me in the comments, do you have anything that you really like to use for mulching your garden or for weed control or for building up your soil? What is it that you do? Thanks so much, and here we go. Number 6, what type of mulch should I put in my garden beds? Now, I had some people ask me some questions about leaf mold and wood chip mulch in the garden. And it is a well-known fact, if you are into mulch at all, I guess, that putting down leaves or wood mulch creates a fungal environment for your garden. Now, if you have fruit trees or perennials that you'd find in a forest, that's exactly what they want. But annuals like tomatoes and peppers and things like that, most of your vegetables are going to want a bacterial based soil. And so why do I put leaf mold on my beds? Well, the answer is leaves, when you put them down, create a fungal environment. But as soon as they start to decompose, let's say about a year of sitting there, they've become leaf mold, right? And now they've started decomposing. What happens is the bacteria takes over and turns it into more like a compost. So once you have leaf mold, it's been sitting for about a year, it's chopped up a little bit, it started the decomposition process. Now it is bacterial based, and so this is actually perfect to put on your garden beds if you're going to be planting vegetables. I put this on my garden bed, and then I put the wood mulch in between, and I basically fill my entire food forest with the wood mulch every year. And so wood mulch decomposes at about an inch per year, and so the first time that I put the mulch down in my food forest, I put about 3 inches. And I've been adding about 2 inches every year, and I'm trying to really get ahead of myself. And this year I'm going to go for 2 or 3 inches again. And by the time, probably next year's the last year that I'm going to have to do it at all. At that point, the ground cover is really going to take hold, and everything is going to kind of bush out, and it's going to create its own mulch on its own. So I won't have to worry about it. By the time that the mulch decomposes, it's going to basically be its own kind of ecosystem in there. So next year will be the last year that I put mulch down. If not this year, we'll see how good the growing goes on in there. But for those of you who are wondering, once the leaf mold starts breaking down, when it's chopped up real fine, it turns into leaf mold, you can definitely tell a difference between this and like a regular leaf that you'd find that's just fallen from a tree. So this is what we're looking for. This is perfect for your beds. It's free. A lot of the compost that you find these days, and even manure that you would put on your beds, has been sabotaged, I guess, by antibiotics or fertilizers or pesticides, even just the cows or the horses eating plants that have pesticides on them. And so putting bad compost or manure on your garden can actually set back your garden's growth about 3 years if it's tainted. And a lot of it is these days. Now, leaf mold, it's free, it's abundant. People readily get rid of their leaf cuttings or their leaf debris at the end of the year in fall, and you can just go pick it up. It's fine. Or there are places local that you could look for that might have big leaf mold piles, like our local town does. And so This is why I put this on the bed. It decomposes quickly because it's already been decomposing for about a year, and it's very bacterial based. So it's basically like free compost, and it also creates a great moisture barrier and promotes a lot of health and regeneration in your soil, which is what we want. We want to feed the soil so that what we plant in it can feed us well.
Number 5. Will I kill my perennials by putting a deep layer of leaf mold or a layer of wood mulch on top of them before they emerge in the spring?
So one of the questions that I had about deep mulching was, when I put the deep mulch, the leaf mold, on my plants in the garden, do I worry about smothering the plants that I planted there, the perennials, the herbs, the things that I planted and I want to shoot up, the things I'm trying to protect from weeds? And let me show you. This is some of my more decorative comfrey. This is a variegated comfrey, and this was completely covered when I put the leaf mold down. And it is just shooting right through it. This is the catnip bed, and usually if one of the cats gets in here with me, you'll see them rush over to this spot because they know exactly where it is. In fact, Sawyer's getting ready to go in there right now. But it is not a problem. He bumped my phone. Here's my motherwort, or the yellow dock. And you can just kind of see things starting to pop up. Oh, I could just listen to that all day. That's the signs of spring. The nettles coming up, the birds singing like that, me only needing to be out in a light sweater in the morning, out in the garden. Ah, it's just delightful. So I wanted to just show you guys that things do come up in the garden after you deep mulch. If they're perennial, especially if they're herbs, if they're perennial, they're gonna shoot right through that. And unfortunately, any established weeds will also just kind of shoot through that, but it's going to stop any of the new weeds. And so as long as you can just keep plucking those established weeds that maybe you didn't quite get to the year before, then you should be good. But also, if you're doing the no-dig method, you should have killed all the established weeds with cardboard or plastic first, and then put your soil on top of that, and then put the leaf mold on top of that. And so you shouldn't have any established weeds when you start off. So as long as you're good about keeping the deep mulch on every year, replacing that, then you should be good to go, and you shouldn't have to worry about any weeds popping up. But the perennials, they will do fine.
Number 4, what kind of wood mulch should I use?
Okay, so here I am at the leaf mold and mulch place that I get my stuff, and it's this really great place that the city just comes and kind of drops off all of their mulch and leaf mold waste, and people from the public can come and get it whenever they need to. And so this is my favorite kind of mulch to use. It's really important that you get this type of mulch if you're looking to build up the fungal community and the nutrient density and rehabilitate your soil in your garden in like a food forest or something like that. So let's take a look at what this looks like specifically. Okay, you can see here that this is not just straight mulch. There's pine needles in here, there's sticks, there's leaves in here. There's a lot of green material in this. It's not just straight mulch. So you see there's leaves in it too. Basically they took a tree and they just kind of mulched it up, stuck it in the back of their dump truck or whatever they brought in, and then dumped it in a pile here. Okay, so this is the kind that you want. Now there are other types of mulch that are just pure wood chips or even dyed wood chips. and they're kind of looking a little bit shredded. Like, that is not what you want. That's not going to break down very quickly, and it's not going to build up the nutrient density in your soil that stuff like this could.
Number 3, what is the difference between leaf mold and wood mulch as it breaks down?
So this is a pile of the mulch that they've had here, and it's been sitting here for a year. And so this is the mixed mulch that they get with all the different stuff in it. And this is after just 1 year of sitting here, and you can see what a huge difference there is. So this almost looks like dirt because it's breaking down. It's starting to look very, very dirt-like. And you see, oh, look at that great stuff. Oh my goodness, that's just gorgeous. And so right here, it's broken down a little bit more. You can see some more dirt in it. So this is the mulch pile after a year. Let's go take a look at what the leaf mold looks like after a year.
This next clip, I mixed up my terms. Fresh leaf mold is aged a year already. This pile of year-old leaf mold is therefore 2 years old now.
Okay, so this is the leaf mold after it's been sitting here for about a year. So this is the stuff that's fresh. And then this is the stuff that's been sitting here for about a year. So let's take a look at how good this looks and how different this looks from the mulch that's been here for a year. Okay, so this is leaf mold after a year. And you can see there's a stark contrast between old leaf mulch or old leaf mold and old mulch. This is basically, there's some that didn't break down quite yet, but over here, this is basically compost. Can you imagine this being in your beds? This being the top layer of your beds, and then the next year you put on another layer of leaf mold. I mean, just gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. So that's what I want for my vegetables. And this is what they're getting. I mean, just like, oh.
Number 2, does leaf mold get hot as it composts like regular compost or manure?
Okay, now watch. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna move the mulch, and underneath is gonna be all this steam. And if you put your hand in there, it's hot. It's really hot. In fact, I can't keep my hand there very long. So I'm gonna just throw this. Now I'm going to take some more, and you'll see more steam. That is some hot stuff right there.
Number 1, do plants like growing in a deep layer of leaf mold or mulch?
The peas we planted the other day are doing really, really well. The radishes are doing well. The turnips are doing well. And look how good the calendula is doing. It's getting its first set of true leaves now. Here is a chameleon plant. This is in the food forest, and you see that it's coming up right in the mulch. And it's coming right up through it. And last year, fall, you couldn't even see this because the mulch was on top of it. And here it's coming up again. So this is a great medicinal, very, very important medicinal. And I love having this in my food forest. And here is some rhubarb. I bet if I dig underneath of this, we'll be able to see some little, oh, look at this. Getting ready to emerge and pop out. That's so exciting. But it's popping up right through that mulch. So don't worry about putting mulch down on top of your perennials, because even wood mulch, if they're perennial, they'll pop right up through it. So that's going to do it today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your support. If you could remember to like and subscribe, that would help me out a lot. And as always, have a wonderful day and stay blessed.